Hey everyone, and welcome. We're going to talk about something that affects all of us, shopping. But more importantly, we're going to unpack the power you have as a consumer. This is your quick guide to India's Consumer Protection Act, and trust me, it might just change how you look at your next purchase.
You know that feeling, right? You've just bought something new, you're excited, and then it breaks the very next day. Or you pay for a service, and it's just a total letdown. It's so frustrating, and you kind of feel like there's nothing you can do. Well, the good news is you're not powerless, not at all, and we're about to show you exactly why. All right, so here's what we've got on the agenda. We'll kick things off with your basic consumer rights. Then we'll figure out what actually makes you a consumer in the eyes of the law. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of defects and deficiencies, lay out the path to getting things sorted, and wrap up with protections in this new digital world. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, your basic rights. This is the bedrock, the foundation of your power. See, the law isn't just about what to do after something bad happens. It's about the rights you have from the very beginning, the moment you even think about buying something. So think of these 6 rights as your personal consumer toolkit. The law gives you the right to be safe from dangerous stuff, the right to know exactly what you're buying, the quality, the price, all of it. You've got the right to choose from a variety of options, the right to have your voice heard if there's an issue, and of course, the right to get a solution when things go wrong. And maybe most importantly, you have the right to be educated about all of this. These aren't just nice ideas, folks. These are your legal rights. All right, that sounds great, but here's the big question. Are you covered by this law? I mean, it seems obvious, right? I buy things, so I must be a consumer. But, well, the legal definition is a little more specific than that. So here's the official definition. A consumer is anyone who buys goods or hires services and pays for them. Simple enough. But here's the really cool part. It's not just the person who pays. It's also anyone who uses the goods or benefits from the service. So let's say your friend buys you a phone for your birthday and it's a dud. Even though you didn't pay for it, you're the one using it, so guess what? You're protected too. You can be the one to file a complaint. Now this is where it gets interesting. There's a really important line the law draws. If you buy something to earn your living, say you're a freelance writer and you buy a laptop, you are absolutely a consumer. You're covered. But if a huge company buys, I don't know, a whole fleet of trucks for their delivery business, that's seen as a large-scale commercial purpose. And in that case, the act doesn't apply in quite the same way. It's all about personal livelihood versus big business. Okay, let's test this out with a real-world example. A farmer buys a tractor. He's going to use it to till his own land. So, is that for his livelihood, or is that a commercial purpose? What's your gut feeling? And the answer is yes. He is 100% a consumer. There was a real court case about this, and the ruling was clear. Since the main reason he bought the tractor was to work on his own land, self-employment, it counts as being for his livelihood. It doesn't even matter if he rents it out to a neighbor once in a while. The primary purpose is what counts. Okay, so we know who's covered. Now let's talk about when things actually go wrong. The law has 2 specific words for this, and it's good to know the difference. You've got defect when we're talking about products and deficiency when we're talking about services. Let's start with defect. A defect is basically any fault, flaw, or shortcoming in a product. It's not what it was promised to be. Perfect example. A new phone is advertised as having a 10-hour battery life, but you're lucky if you get 5 hours out of it. That's a classic defect. It just doesn't meet the standard. Then you have deficiency. This one's all about services. It's when there's a fault or an inadequacy in how a service is performed, and this can be really serious. There was a tragic real-life case at a swimming school where a child drowned. The court discovered the coach wasn't properly trained, and they ruled it was a clear and devastating deficiency in service. Yeah, the stakes can be incredibly high. Take this medical negligence case. A surgeon actually left an abdominal pack inside a patient after surgery. The court's verdict was crystal clear. They said the doctor's actions fell below the standards of a reasonably competent practitioner. This wasn't just a minor slip-up. It was a profound, life-threatening deficiency in service. So you found a defect in your new phone or experienced a deficiency in a service. What now? What do you actually do? Well, the great thing is the law gives you a clear step-by-step path to get justice. It's what's called a 3-tier system. Think of it like levels in a game. You start at the ground floor, the district commission. If things don't go your way there, you can appeal and go up to the next level, the state commission. And the final boss, if you will, is the national commission. It's designed to be easy to access, starting right there in your local area. But how do you know which level to start on? It's actually super simple. It's all based on how much the product or service was worth. If your claim is for anything up to 50 lakh rupees, you'll head to the district commission. If it's between 50 lakh and 2 crore, you go to the state commission. And for the really big claims, anything over 2 crore, you go straight to the top, the national commission.
Now, let's be real, a lot of us do most of our shopping online these days. So, does all of this apply to the digital world? Are you protected when you're clicking add to cart? The answer is a big yes. The law has definitely kept up with the times.
Let's go back to that laptop example. Say you bought a faulty laptop online for your sister. We already know that you're both considered consumers and you're both protected. But what about the website you bought it from, the big e-commerce platform? What's their role in all of this?
Well, there are specific rules for e-commerce that came out in 2020, and they put some serious responsibility on these platforms. First, they have to have a system in place for handling your complaints. Second, they need to appoint a specific grievance officer and make their contact info easy to find. And third, they have to get back to you and acknowledge your complaint within 48 hours. The bottom line is, they can't just ignore you. You are not on your own.
You know, when you boil it all down, it comes to this one simple idea. The law is there, and it's a really powerful tool. But your best protection? It's knowledge. Just knowing your rights, that's what turns you into an empowered consumer. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Now that you know all this, that you have the right to be informed, the right to be safe, and a real path to getting a solution, what are you going to do differently next time you shop? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.